What is cloud computing?
First off, the security and infrastructure that you have in place today is top notch, and you very rarely see data being lost from somebody getting it from the cloud. But I think it provides a low cost of entry. I mean, today, as the fluctuation goes up and down on an origination channel, and people are trying to grow, but when you start trying to take servers out to locations and install them and manage them, it gets a little tedious. So I think low cost of entry, along with that, scalability, the ability to anytime, anywhere access to data and documents from a mortgage perspective. We talked to a lender, and he said he's able to go out and recruit the best skilled labor out there in the industry because he has a cloud solution. So he can go out, people can work from home, and it's just like someone sitting right next to you. So I think low cost of entry, scalability are a couple of reasons that it's been successful.
From a technology perspective, I would absolutely agree that the concepts of the cloud have been out there for a long time too, but I do hear oftentimes when talking to lenders that security is the big question mark. Everyone likes the low cost of entry, everyone likes the scalability. Amazon is a leader in this cloud market space actually, and working with banking institutions on a limited basis. But a lot of mortgage companies, especially with the increased compliance around personally identifiable information and exactly where that is at all times, and is it locked down at all times, and can I audit and show that it was locked down at all times, is even threatening to challenge against our old concept of multi-tenant, where you have more than one company housed in the same physical location. I would think that it could be challenging to the cloud as well. So
then you have to make sure that your internal sources have that security built in. And I would tell you that for most size companies, they're going to have more security using an outsourced platform than they are trying to build that security into their own stuff.
Integration being enabled as a result of, or it becoming easier as a result of the cloud, or is it getting more complicated?
I think it becomes easier because you've got databases in multiple places that you can get to talk to each other as we continue to make better use of the internet and better use of remote desktoping and remote connections. All of those things become more secure within and of themselves. It makes the integration actually easier.
Cloud computing aside, what are other future trends to watch?
Talking about cloud computing, but that's exactly where it's going. I really believe strongly that loan origination systems in general will be going towards the cloud. So what does that exactly mean in terms of having your platform all the way in the cloud? And again, having multi-tenant situations, we've come up with some solutions that we believe that can address some of those kinds of needs, of having your own database, having better performance, because a lot of systems that are in the cloud have a tendency to be bogged down because of performance issues because of web interaction, and having a lot of people on the same basic database going across the board. So we're coming up with some innovative solutions to solve those problems so that it makes it easier, better, faster for people to use. And I think that's where origination technology is going. Just about every technology vendor is going to be providing some kind of cloud-based solution in the very near term. So that's, in general, I think that's the case. And that includes, if you think about mobile technology is a cloud-based solution, right? You have an application that sits on your device, but where does it talk to? It doesn't talk directly to your server that's on premise. It's talking to a server in the sky somewhere. And how that's going to be, again, the security concerns and things of that nature are going to have to be addressed before it can become widespread technology that everybody adapts. But that's where it's really going.
How do you be more efficient?
It started with when Fannie Mae came out with their loan quality initiative, and compliance became a huge issue. What we did was we made sure that we put the tools in place, such as our loan origination system, Alex, Optima Blue for our pricing engine, gave the loan officer the tools and the education to evolve. So we could be, because it's not just about origination nowadays. You can't just originate a loan, you have to be compliant from the time it is originated, or even that phone call is taken, or that loan officer is sitting face to face with the client, all the way beyond selling that loan. And so we have put the tools in place, and we hold monthly and bi-monthly seminars, not just for our own staff, but for our realtor partners, our end investors, and it's all about putting the tools and then educating them to use the tools to the full, to its full capability.
Why aren't lenders more automated?
Biggest challenge you have in adoption is just a mental commitment, the mentality of the lender. They're not IT people. They understand that it will help their business, but they're not necessarily prepared from a staffing perspective, or really from a psychological perspective to engage the resources necessary to have a successful implementation and ongoing support. Most lenders, other than the larger banks, don't have very large IT staffs. They expect everything to come out of the box and work exactly like they want, and nothing does. Everything needs some level of configuration. Everybody's workflow is different. There is no standard automation process for a mortgage. So systems have to compromise between the customer's needs and adapting to the workflow, and the lender, the customer, actually adapting the processes somewhat to the systems. And those that strike that best compromise or balance have a much better chance to be viable and sustainable. But it's really just a mentality and a commitment to it, and the lenders don't always have that. And it's our job to make that easier and easier. And that's things like the iPad were so revolutionary, in the iPhone. They changed the way phones work because the interfaces and the way that humans interacted with it was so intuitive and so simple, and that's the brilliance and the elegance. And that's what we have to do as vendors, is make systems that can become more intuitive and easier to use, even though the process through regulation and many other things are much more complicated. So it's a tough compromise to strike, but that's what we have to strive to do.